Okay, standard deviation is given by the letter sigma and is the average distance away from the average. And here's what I mean by that. This is the average or the mean. Here's this mean. There's that mean. What is the average distance away from the average? Well, here it's about that far. Here it's about that far. And here it's about that far. That's called the standard deviation. The one that has the largest distance away from the average is the blue one. That's the one in the middle. I've got a list of data here. 5, 10, 15, 16, 16, 16, 17. If I were to change that 5 into another 10, the middle would stay the same. Let me put where the middle is. Middle's this number here. So I'm going to take it back to being a 5. Okay, so originally it's a 5. And the middle is the number 16. Now if I change that to a 10, the middle is still 16. So the median stays the same. The median is staying the same here. But if I were to increase, think of it as a grade. If you were to change one of your grades from a 5 to a 10, obviously your average would go up. So the average here is going to go up, and the middle is going to stay the same. So average goes up, and this middle stays the same. Okay, it's that one. A creative writing class compiled a list of their favorite superheroes. They listed each superhero's superpower and personality flaw. They don't have the totals, but you always have to put the totals. The total that are forgetful is 7. The total that are lazy is 4. The total that can fly is 7. That can read minds is 4. And that means that there's 11 total superheroes here. What's the probability that a randomly selected superhero is forgetful and can fly? Well, for that, I need the number that satisfy this condition divided by the total. The number that are forgetful and can fly is 5, so this is 5 over 11. And you can state that as a percent instead. Next question. A lot of people don't know how to do these, and the reason why is because they didn't do this assignment. So you need to put your totals. And then I'm going to put the information. So both a musical instrument and a sport is right here. Neither a musical instrument nor a sport is right here. And total plays a sport, total is right there. So let's see, it's 6, it's 3, and it's 14. And then I can start working backwards. If the total here is 14, then that must be 8. The total here must be 11. The grand total is 24. I forgot to put that into my list. Let's make that pink. The grand total is 24, and that goes here. 24. Okay, so that means now I can fill in those other two, so that's 13 total that play a music instrument and 10 total that don't play a sport. And then so if this was 7, then yeah, 7 and 3 would make 10, and 6 and 7 would make 13, and I'm now done. How many play a sport? 14. How many do not play a sport? 10. How many play a musical instruments? 13. And how many don't is 11. Okey-doke. All kinds of probability questions you can ask for a question like this. So I want, if you are a boy, so given that you already know that you're only looking at the boys, what's the probability that they speak Spanish? So the number of boys that speak Spanish is 10, and the number of boys total is 20, and so this is 10 out of 20. How many girls are there that speak Spanish? Is 15. What's the total number of Spanish speakers? That's 25. What's the probability that a Spanish speaker is a girl? So that's 15 out of 25. How many students speak French and are a boy? That's 2. How many total students are there? 50. What is the overall probability that a student studies French and is a boy? Is 2 out of the 50. How many girls speak either French or German? So this is girls, French or German would be 15. How many total students are there? 50. What's the probability that a randomly selected student speaks either French or German and is a girl? 15 out of 50. What's the probability that a boy speaks German? So it's phrased interestingly. It's phrased correctly. It's difficult to figure out what it's asking. You're just looking at the total number of boys. So you look, a boy that speaks German would be 8 out of the 20. 8 out of 20 boys speak German. What's the probability that any person, so now I'm using the grand total, any either boy or a girl speaks any language, is a girl and speaks French? So the girls that speak French is 12, and the grand total is 50. So this is 12 out of 50. I did not simplify any of these fractions. You should be required to, will be required to. So for example, this would have to be simplified to a half or 50%. This one would simplify to 3 out of 5 or 60%. This one simplifies to 1 out of 25, and I'm not sure what percent that is. 3 out of 10, which is 30%. 4 out of 10, or 2 out of 5, I should say. 2 out of 5, which is 40%. And 6 out of 25. And I'm not sure what percent that is. Okay, so that is how to find different types of specific probabilities. And I think, is that both 2 pages? Yep, we got 2 pages down. Okay, so I'll do the next 2 pages in the next video.